Hi, I'm going to do some example math problems. This is not a requirement for you to watch this or do this. This is just an extra help if you have some problems with getting the math problems done. So we're going to do a few example problems from section 1. So make sure you have your section 1 practice problem sheet. Also need your formula sheet. These are all online, of course. And then finally, you will need your calculator. So let's go ahead and get started. The first question asks about your grandparents gave you some money, you decide you want to invest it, you want to know how much you're going to have in the future. The first question you need to ask yourself is, which formula am I going to use? This is a value formula since we are looking at how much we'll have in the future. We know how much we have right now in the present. We have the money your grandparents gave you right now today. So we need to find what we're going to have in the future. So that means it's going to be one of our FV formulas, either FV or FVA. Now, to decide which of those formulas it is, we need to decide if it's a one-time payment we got, or are we going to continually invest, continually put money in. Well, our grandparents just gave us this one time, so it is a lump sum. So it's our FV formula. The next thing we need to figure out is compounding. How often is this compounding? And in the math problems and in the homework problems, I will always give you a clue as to whether it's monthly or yearly compounding. And make sure you review the compounding factors as we talked about in our lecture. So in this problem, we ask, how much would we have in 4 years if we put $10,000 in? It averages a 12% rate of return, and it's compounded daily. So let's go ahead and set up our formula. So we look at our formula sheet, and we see our FV formula. So we have the future value is equal to the present value times 1 plus r raised to the n. So we need to figure out what we're going to put in for those values. Our grandparents gave us $10,000. Very nice grandparents. So our present value, what we have today, is $10,000. Now we need to figure out the r. I told you that you average 12% return. Remember that in the problems, I always put the R, the interest rate, in APR, annual percentage rate. So it's 12%, and when we turn that into a decimal, because we can't put percentages into our formula, we put 0.12. But we're compounding daily, so we actually have to turn that into a daily interest rate. So to do that, you take your calculator and take 0.12 divided by how many days in a year? 365. And our answer there is 0.000329. Make sure your calculator goes out enough decimals to get all of that and not just rounding up. Actually, my calculator did just round up. It's actually, I need to change my settings, 0.000328. Good thing I brought that up for you. Make sure you're checking that so when you turn in your homework assignments, the rounding's not off and you're not going to have problems there. So we have our R to put in. Now we need to figure out our N. Remember, the N is going to be the number of years times the compounding factor. We said 4 years, but we need to turn that into days, so we have to multiply that. I forgot to put this up here. It's 0.12 divided by 365. So now we have to multiply 4 years by 365. And we get 1,460 days. So we put that into our formula here. now we just need to solve. Let's get rid of our parentheses. We have 1.0003288 raised to the 1460. And we get 1.616024. Last step, this is a very short formula, is we just need to multiply it by our 10,000. So I'm just going to swing that on down there. After 4 years at 12% interest, compounded daily, our $10,000 has turned into $16,160.24. And that is an example of the future value formula.